And we're back with the Classic Auto Mall show from the Classic Auto Mall studio. That sounds like the Entourage entree. That's a great show.
It's a rocker.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Entourage, you got to watch it. It's great. It's what every guy would dream of, to go to California and hang out with his buddy who becomes a movie star. Yeah. What a great guest we just finished up with, Jack Baldwin, who had an amazing career, and we didn't even scratch the surface. So we'll have to have him back on, because there's plenty more where that came from. So, joining us on our weekly segment, Mr. Keith Martin, publisher of Sports Car Market Magazine. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Yeah. How was your Christmas?
It was quiet. I had my family here. And
sure.
They had stockings, and I got in each one of my kids' stockings. I gave them a portable air compressor.
Because why not? That and a wrench.
Well, that seems to be the big thing today. This Christmas, the big push on social media was these little portable air compressors, and
they're amazing.
Everything I've read says that you need to carry your own air with you.
I like that. I think that's very smart. But you know what's interesting? When we air up tires here around the mall, a lot of these tires are older tires that haven't, that are well past their life expectancy. And we like those little compressors that you can hook on, and you don't have to lean into the tire the whole time while you're filling it, because God forbid something were to happen and your face is right there. It's not a good thing. So to be able to plug these in, set a number, and walk away is much smarter.
Yeah, I've got my kids trained that, because sometimes we don't drive our cars for a couple of weeks, that the number one thing they have to do is just go and top off the tires.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the way to do it. So your blog this week is Resolutions and Conundrums. See, I got that, a conundrum. That's a big word. So it's that time of year when we all start thinking about our resolutions and everything that we're doing and what we're going to do for the next year and what we won't do from the last year.
Well, I got myself kind of caught in a trap with these thoughts that I had, because they're really two separate things. Number one is I want to be driving cars that are easier for me to drive.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, that blog got a huge response to it from people. My left knee's starting to hurt. I can't get in and out of the car as much. We are all kind of, as we're aging, there are just limitations that are coming up. And so maybe it's okay to have an automatic. Right. Maybe it's okay to have power steering. Maybe it's okay. So on the one hand, I'm saying I want a more comfy car. My Alfa S4 91, we call that car Old Weezer.
Right.
Because it's incredible. It's 1966 technology, suspension, not much of a motor, but it's so comfortable.
Right.
And I spent a couple of grand to have the air conditioning fixed. Oh, you know how it is. Air conditioning just needs a recharge.
Yeah, that's all it needs. It works perfectly except a recharge. And that's just a can you buy down at the local car parts store. And it's like $12, right?
AutoZone.
Right, $12.
No. My son was actually working as a manager in an AutoZone store. And when I had the AC not working, he said, well, let me go get the kit, Dad. And I said, Bradley, do you know what it's like to be lost at sea? and you don't have an oar or a sail or wind or a compass. I said, you're going to take that kit and try to install it, and it's not going to work.
Right.
And you're not going to understand why. And you're just going to be standing there in the parking lot of AutoZone crying.
Yeah, crying. And the people in AutoZone are going to be pointing at you going,
I know. It turned out mine had a bad compressor.
Well, yeah, of course, because it's never just it's out of Freon or the fluid. It's always something way more than that. It's like beating your starter with a hammer. That never works.
Oh, I know.
But it actually does work every once in a while.
The first compressor they got was from China, and it didn't work.
Right.
But when I went to, there's one really good AC shop in Portland called Max Radiator. Been here forever, and they're the kind of guys that this is what they do.
Right. Yeah, this is what they do. It's normal for them.
Right, and they just solved the problem. And it was about maybe $2,000, but I took the car to a couple of real hot places this summer, and I hate to admit it, but here I am in a convertible with the top up and the AC on.
Right, that's getting old. That's yeah.
Well, I had my AARP blinking light thing on the back of my car.
Exactly.
Have you renewed your dues? I've renewed mine. That kind of sticker.
I love that AARP discount, man. That thing, that's hot. Just whip out that car. Here we go.
That's right. You put that next to your handicap parking parking thing.
Right. Exactly. That's what
it's like getting blackjack.
Yeah. That's what somebody told me when you go to Monterey, that the best investment you can have is to somehow get a handicap parking sticker, because
you only need one in a color copier.
Right. True. Yeah. A good color copier, right?
Not even that good.
So, and in all your collecting years, you've owned, gosh, a couple of hundred cars at least, if not more. And you've driven in every kind of rally and driving type of event that you can possibly imagine. What's left on the agenda? What do you, and it's you just said it a minute ago, the comfort level is as important as the.
There are two things coming up. Stewart, we're reaching the kind of the golden age of the last of the giant car shows, in my opinion. Right. For instance, the Healey Club is having its 75th anniversary next year.
Wow.
Right. And they expect about 600 Healeys to be at Lake Tahoe.
Wow. How cool is that?
But my guess is the 100th Healey show will be smaller.
Yeah, I would imagine even the 85th will probably be smaller.
Yeah. So what I've kind of made a mission of is I'd like to try to go to some of these, the national car shows that are close to me, like Lake Tahoe is 2 days away.
Yeah, so it's close enough. Yeah, it's not across the country.
But I went to the 50th anniversary of the Healey, and I had a big Healey I drove down, and it was really wonderful. Those cars, because they have that fourth gear overdrive, they'll go 70 all day long.
Yeah, nothing worse than a 4-speed car that needs a 5th gear and driving down the highway, and you feel like the thing is going to rattle itself to death because it's just turning just too hard. It needs that 5th gear.
No, well, actually, a friend of mine has got a Bug-Eye Sprite, and they just sent it to Europe to keep it for events over there. And the first thing they're having done is a Toyota 5-speed put in it.
And it works well. I guess it mates up well with that engine.
Yeah, enough.
Yeah, we could. It's kind of like when that Apollo 13, when they had to make a box with anything that they had on the spaceship in order to filter out the air, and they were putting Coke cans and remote controls and
right.
So, but I think the event thing is important because there's a lot of events that I've been in the car business a long time, but there's a lot of things I've never done. I've never been to Woodward Dream Cruise. I've never been to Iola with the big swap meet that they do down there. So there's always lots of things left on the list to do. And if you don't do them now, I don't know when to tell you're going to do them.
Well, I think it's the time. I mean, but here's the conundrum. I want to drive a more comfortable car,
right? But
if I'm going to the Healey convention, I want to drive a Healey,
right? I don't think you pull up in a Buick Regal and be accepted.
Well, you'd park over in the bad spot by the porta potties,
right. So, listen, we all have things on our list that we want to do. There's only so many hours in the day that you can do them. Are you mapping out this whole year of what you're going to do already, or are you just going to wing it?
Well, we may do an SCM tour. That's the secret I can't talk about.
Right.
In 2028, because it's our 40th anniversary.
Right.
So that's a big thing. Next June, I'm doing a 5-day all-inclusive Porsche Tour. And I bought a new car to go on that, but I can't talk about it on this because it's a secret.
We've got a lot of secrets going on here, Keith.
I do. Well, between you and me, it's kind of like the Cold War, and you're trying to extract information, and I'm trying to hold it back so that all the watchers, they'll come back next week.
That's right. It's like my buddy says, when he goes out of town, he doesn't post on Facebook that he's out of town. He posts it when he's in town that he was out of town. And then I said, oh, great. So now when the robbers show up at your house, you're going to be home. I said,
exactly.
If they're going to rob you, make sure you're gone. You're in Europe or something, and then they just take what they want and leave the rest for you.
Here's the other thing I've been thinking, Stewart. I talked to some guys, friends of mine in the Healey Club, and I said, would you rent me your Healey for 2 weeks for $5,000?
Ooh, I like that idea.
That's assuming I'm a trustworthy driver,
sure.
and I'd be responsible for damages, and I'd carry my own insurance. But if you've got a good, solid Healey and you can't go, it's a lot cheaper for me to spend $5,000. And I'd rather spend $3,000, but I'll spend $5,000.
Right. You start at $3,000 and then work your way up to $5,000. So
yeah. Well, with Healey guys, you start at $500, and then what you do is it's cheaper. It'd be cheaper for me to rent one for $5,000 than to go buy one for 30.
Absolutely. And it's just like owning a boat. If you've got a place close to you that you can rent the boat that you would like to buy, and it's $1,000 a day to rent it, just rent it and see how many times you go out in the summer on it by renting it. Yeah. And you'll go out 5 times and it's $5,000. And if you own the boat, it'd be $50,000.
No, I totally understand. So I am trying to kind of make a list of events, multi-day events that I'd like to go on. I think this Healey event's important.
Absolutely. That's very important. And it's something that I'm certain you would write about in the magazine as well.
Yeah, and I don't really care whether I have a 104 or a 3000 or a 106 or which of the models, because it's not. I've owned all of them,
right?
And they're all relatively brutal.
Yeah, and you're not trying to impress anybody or unimpress them. You want to show up and be part of the crew. You want to have a Healey and enjoy the event. And it doesn't matter if you got the top of the line or the bottom of the line. It really doesn't make a difference.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to figure out is how to drive a more comfortable car and at the same time go to these events that are 2 or 3 days away.
Right. So that's a conundrum. So I imagine you did get a lot of response from that, and hopefully you'll get some more response from our show as well too, of maybe people come up with some ideas for you.
Yeah, people are, we're not alone, those of us that are have been around the car hobby for a long time, and just all of us are kind of trying to figure this out. My MGA steering is too heavy for me.
Right.
Stuff like that just didn't matter 25 years ago.
Didn't even think about.
Well, no, and you owe it to yourself to set the car up the way you want it so that you enjoy it.
That's exactly right. I think that is so important. And if you like some aftermarket wheels on a car that's original, then so be it. And if that's your thing, then that's what your thing is. And we shouldn't make fun of anybody in this hobby, because we need all the camaraderie we can get in this world when it comes to the car hobby. Otherwise, like you said, the Healey Club and their 100th anniversary, nobody's going to be there. And the rest of these events, nobody's going to be at either.
Well, Bruce Canepa did an interview with us, and one of the things he talked about, he said, if you've got a 300 SL and it's too hot and you want air conditioning and it's your car, he said, I'm putting it in.
Putting it in. Yep, I'm putting it in, and if be damned, and who cares? Well, I think that's the. It's funny, we learn these things as we get older. Listen, I love an original car, and I love all originality, and that's my favorite part of the hobby. But I don't fault anybody for wanting to make a resto-mod or wanting to make a hot rod or add air conditioning to a dual Gia or a Healey. It's okay. It's all okay.
I think that world is changing for us, Stewart. That people are becoming more accepting.
Yeah.
Of putting electric steering on a Daytona.
Absolutely, because if it's not enjoyable to drive, you're not going to drive it. And if you're not driving it, I don't get the point. I don't understand the point of owning it and not driving it. So,
agree 100%.
Well, Keith, I hope you have a wonderful New Year and New Year's Eve, and don't party it up too hard tonight. And we will see you next week, same Bat channel.
Here's a special offer from Sports Car Market Magazine. Get a 6-month subscription for just $19.95 by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive and the number 6. That's sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. If you're a buyer, a seller, or just general classic car enthusiast, publisher Keith Martin says,
we've been around almost 40 years. It's the Wall Street Journal of the collector car world.
Activate your 6-month trial of Sports Car Market Magazine by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. Offers for a limited time. Be in the know with Sports Car Market.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden. Available on ClassicAutomall.com, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.